Welcome back. In this second of a two-part episode of Cisco Tech Talk, I'll verify the communication between guest Wi-Fi users and internal LAN users. Then, I'll apply an access control list, ACL, to restrict the guest Wi-Fi users' access to internal LAN resources. Next. To start, connect one guest Wi-Fi user. Navigate to the Network Summary menu under Monitoring, and you'll notice that one client is showing Connected under Active Clients. Click on the Clients menu. Guest 1 user is connected. I'll click on that user to see their details. Guest 1 has an IP address from the VLAN 2 IP pool of 192.168.2.136 and is connected to the CBW 240 access point, AP. This was authenticated using a local database. To connect another Wi-Fi guest user, click on the Wi-Fi network adapter in your system and connect to the guest_Wi-Fi SSID. The pop-up page will open stating that you have configured guest user authentication. Enter the username, in my case, guest2, along with the password. Click Submit. Once the authentication was successful, the guest user is connected. To check the IP address on your system's wireless adapter, open the command prompt and enter the ipconfig command to make sure that you are connected wirelessly. My wireless LAN adapter IP address is showing as 192.168.2.127. The Ethernet adapter is currently disconnected on this laptop. Verify that you can ping the internal LAN resources that are connected to VLAN 1. One of my systems is connected to VLAN 1 with an IP address of 192.168.1.107. I can successfully ping that IP from this system. At this point, a guest user could still access the internal LAN resources. You need to apply an access rule on the switch to block communication. Another option for this is to disable inter-VLAN routing on both VLANs. If this is done, they won't be able to communicate with each other, but they will be able to get internet access. In this example, I will use the ACL. To do that, navigate to the Access Control menu on the switch and select IPv4-based ACL. Click the Add button and enter the ACL name as Guest. Click Apply and close this window. Next, navigate to the IPv4-based ACE option and click on the plus button to add the access control entries. The ACL name is showing as Guest. Designate the priority as 1, so the switch will check this rule first when processing the ACL. Enter the action as Deny to restrict the communication. For the protocol, I'll keep that as IP. For the source IP address, I'll select User Defined and enter the IP pool for my VLAN 2 users, which is 192.168.2.0. Enter the wildcard mask of 0.0.0.255, which is the reverse of the subnet mask. For the destination IP address, choose User Defined. Enter the network address pool for VLAN 1 and enter the wildcard mask 0.0.0.255. The remaining options, I'll leave alone. When you've entered your selections, click Apply and close this window. The access rule now shows under the IPv4-based ACE table. The next step is to bind this access rule to either the VLAN or the switch port. I'll bind this access rule on the AP connected switch ports. My APs are connected to ports 5 and 7. Choose your port. I'll choose port 5. Click on the Edit button and enable the checkbox IPv4-based ACL under Input ACL. The Guest ACL, which was just created, is already populated. I'll choose the default action as Permit Any to allow the remaining traffic. For the Output ACL, configure the same parameters and click on the Apply button to save the settings. The same configuration applies to port 7 for me as well. When finished, click the Apply button and close this window. You can see the access rule has been applied on ports 5 and 7 respectively. Now that the rules have been applied, go back to the command prompt. type the ipconfig command and make sure that your Wi-Fi guest user is connected. The Ethernet media is disconnected in my system. Try to ping the LAN resource that was accessible earlier. In my case, that's 192.168.1.107. Now you can see that the ping fails. The deny rule is working. Everything is set. There you have it. Now you know how to create a guest Wi-Fi network that allows internet access, but restricts access to internal LAN resources. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.